What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 33. The evil Masonic number. But we can also make it good. Jesus, rocking that 33 vertebrae. So many things. Double tray, episode 33. I'm stalling here because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So I'm just going to keep ripping off number 33 until I can figure it out. Welcome back to Contemplations of Austin West, y'all. We got a week left. That's 40-day devotional. I'm already getting an idea of what this one evolve into. Yeah, I ain't going to share. I ain't going to give that away yet. You got to stick around. But I'll probably drop to 1 or 2 episodes a week. And it's going to get exciting. We'll just say that much. Yeah, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. I got it. This is kind of what we were talking about our men's call last night. But relationships. Let's get into relationships. For those of you that don't know, I got this thing I wrote coming out of my last relationship, which will be, in 2 weeks, it'll be a year. That's wild, man. That's wild. And I am so ready to meet that next woman. I'm so ready. Meet that lover of my soul. I got this thing I wrote called the Prayer of Remembering Her. It's long, and it is the frequency of what the relationship with this woman looks like, not what she looks like. I don't describe anything. I talk about the frequency of that relationship. And I think I've read a couple sections here and there. I'll never read the full thing until I believe I'm sitting across from her, so nobody knows what this thing is. Because actually, Chris and Tyler do, closest brothers in this life. We did a little mushroom ceremony together, and I wrote it at the end. Anyway, I got so abundantly clear on what it is that I'm calling in. Like, insanely clear. I wrote this and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and read it every single day. And every time I read it, I'd make a little change, a comma, adjustment, change the word here, because I'm paying such close attention to the frequency of what it is that I'm calling in. And listen, I've had many beautiful, grounded, on the path women coming to my field over the last year. And immediately, there's something in me that's just like, this isn't it. Immediately, I just know. The mind is looking for the reasons why. The mind starts scrambling. It's like, but this, that. And how often are all of us doing this? How many of you are in a relationship right now that at the core of your being, you know that is not your person for you, but you're staying because the mind comes online, because you're afraid that you might not find someone as good. You're not going to find someone that rubs your feet that way, or that cooks the meal for you that way, or that says hi to you when you get home that way. It's the stories we tell ourselves. If we're not fully owning who we are from a place of worthiness, we won't own what it is that we truly desire. So we settle, even though there's a whisper going on in your heart and soul saying that you know you want to leave. Set both of you free. And so I wrote this prayer starting 2 weeks coming out of the last relationship. Every time I would go into a grief process, I would feel into it. Like, am I grieving something I'm going to miss? Then I made a note of that. Like, man, I want that with my soulmate. I believe that we do have one, and I believe that it's not a specific person. There's not one soulmate. I believe that it's a choice we make when we know ourselves so much that the reflection that shows up feels like an expression of our soul. That's what all that is. Every person you date is the perfect person for you. Every single person you're with is the perfect person for you, because the people we choose are direct reflections of who we are. It's wild. Which is why relationships are the pathway to freedom and everything we want in this life. Everything we want in this life can be had through relationship. So I have this prayer of remembering her. And every day when I go on a walk with my dog, I ask God to open up a channel so I can have a conversation with the soul of this woman. And we talk. I went and laid in the park today, and I just talked to her for like 30 minutes. And I pray every day. And I started writing her letters. Man, I would have been so afraid to talk about this probably a month ago. But now I don't give a fuck. Because this is how I believe that this realm works. We're in a video game, y'all. And so if I act in accordance of the belief that I have it now, that I'm worthy of it now, that I'm owning the desire of everything that I want in the now, eventually I know it's going to show up. Because like attracts like. Energy magnetizes each other. And the frequency that I'm in, everything I need, God will bring to me if I just stay in that vibrational frequency. And so I am living the life right now in accordance to the alignment as if I'm already with this woman. And I know that she will show up. And every woman that shows up, when I get reflected that test, the quicker I say no to something that is not it, the closer I become to having everything it is that I want. This is true about jobs, about friendships, relationships, business, everything. The quicker you say no to the thing that is not it, which is why it's so important to get insanely clear about what it is that you want in this life. That's all manifestation is. When we get clear about what we want, if we're not who we need to be in a frequency match of that yet, what shows up is the tests to help forge us into the frequency match to then attract what we want. And so because I've been so insanely clear about who this woman is, I've been confronted with everything that I need to become over the last year coming out of this breakup. That's why I started semen retention. Who I'm describing here is so deeply connected to her own sensuality and sexuality and eroticism and the power and potency of sexual energy. I was in my shadow coming out of that last relationship, so I had to integrate that part of me to be a match for her. Money stories. I deeply, the depth of every part of me desire to be a protector and provider in my next relationship. Fully, especially financially. Not every man thinks that's their path. I choose that for myself. I do not want my woman to do anything that she does not want to do. Be free, be expressive, create, paint. I got us. I wasn't in that place. And as many of you know, watching these episodes, I was coming out of my deep unworthiness wound of actually claiming the abundance that I want in this life relative to how I show up to be of service. That's what I've been going through. That's what this 40-day devotional is about. And now I'm in the frequency of abundance. So I'm a closer match to my own prayer. Yeah. Everything we pray for, we get. But it doesn't show up in the way you want. I have an Allen wrench in my hand. It shows up in the way that it helps you become what naturally calls in the answer of that prayer. Right? What's the saying? Like, if you pray for strength, you don't get strength, you get an opportunity to be strong. It's that. So this prayer of remembering her has been forging me into who I'm required to become in order to hold this level of a woman. And I'm there because I've been feeling her. I've been having dreams. I was on my walk today and I was feeling into this thing of like, I already feel like I'm in a relationship right now. It's wild. I hope that lands. Like, I feel like I'm already in relationship with her because I'm living in such a level of devotion as if I'm with her. Because anything that is not her is a fuck no. Again, I've met some incredible women over the last 6 months especially. And I can just, there's something in me that's like, nope. And it was every time it was a test because I'd start playing those games. But it's that, and that was that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You know what language I was just speaking. The language of the mind, the fuckery of the mind. Yeah. Feel her. Man, I'm so excited to meet this woman. I'm so excited to bring this woman to y'all. To weave her into my communities, in my service, and just like pour into this, worship this woman. Because that's what women deserve, to be worshipped. Y'all are divine beings. Thank you for your existence, for the beauty you bring to this life, for your creativity, for your expression, for just what the feminine represents. But I wasn't always here. For most of my life, I wanted power over women because at a young age, I had some shit with my mom. We came in with a karmic path. She played her role perfectly. Thank you, Mom. I love you so much for everything that I've gone through with you, for your ability to hold the hard conversations, for you to reflect and speak my truth, for you showing up and doing the work too. My mom has done a lot of work. Bless her for making that choice. Bless her for everything I experienced in childhood. Such a gift. And our souls chose that path for each other. Yeah, thank you, women. Thank you for your existence. And I was talking to my men's group last night. Like, what is our role in relationship? And it's my highest value as a man in this life is, I guess that's the way of saying it. My highest value, my highest priority, maybe, I don't know, is how safe I make the people around me feel. How safe do I make the people around me feel? That is my aim. That's my aim. And most importantly in relationship. And so I was talking to the guys last night, like, where are you not taking 100% ownership and responsibility for everything that happens in your life, including what is happening in the people around you? Because the people around you are a mirror of you in some way. So we have a role to play in all things, always. And it accelerated the conversation. We started talking about relationship. And listen, y'all, my perspective of relationship, it is literally the capital THE. There is no other path above this path that leads you to the ultimate freedom and sovereignty and power and abundance and manifestation of everything you want in this life is through devotional union. In my opinion, because this is contemplations and I'm just talking about stuff out loud, so I'm not here to argue. If you got a different opinion, I respect whatever you believe. But I believe this very strongly for myself and my path. And I love whatever path you choose for yourself. That's the beauty of this free will human experience that we get to be in. And this is why I've been so devoted to myself over the last year, because the deeper in devotion I go to me, I know that is going to be reflected in this woman because she is going to be a mirror of me. And so I'm showing up for me in this life, knowing that the me outside of me will be her. I'm not looking outside of myself for anything. I hope that none of you are looking outside of yourself for anything. Stop. I don't like telling people to stop doing things you need or you should. How do I say this? Again, in my humble opinion, pay attention to the ways that you still need somebody outside of you to make you feel, be, or have a certain aspect of yourself in this life. You're giving your power away. And the beautiful thing about relationships is, here's my prayer for coming into this relationship. I have me in totality. I need nothing from you, ever. I don't need you to create safety for me. But the irony is, when I create safety for myself, it's reflected. I don't need you to be anything for me to be, feel, or be a certain way. I got me no matter what. I can hold myself through anything. I can get myself anything I need. And if you also show up in that way, if we show up as completely sovereign beings, and we're never fully sovereign, we're always going to have these parts of ourselves. But if we show up in sovereign beings and we agree to meet inside of truth inside of that sovereignty, we can help each other become free of anything. Because I know that anything that you ever speak, experience, or feel has nothing to do with me. And anything I speak, experience, and feel has nothing to do with you. And even though you're going to, it's part of the process. This is why we get in relationship. You're in relationship to activate your parts. Every time you get triggered in a relationship, you should be like holding that with so much gratitude. Stop projecting that. Fuck it, I'm saying stop. Stop projecting that shit on your partner. Your trigger has nothing to do with them. I don't give a fuck what it is. You want to be free. You want to have more sex. You want to dance in the pleasures of eroticism. You want to explore and have more money and more play and more adventure and more laughter. If you want more of each other in this life inside of a relationship, the first thing to do is stop making them the problem. Start thanking them for triggering you. That's a cheat code. Gratitude for everything. They're just showing us where we are not free. And that's my thing, is I'm coming in sovereignty. We agreed to meet in truth. And now, by taking full and complete ownership of my entire experience of life and you doing the same, we get to meet inside of that and purposely bring our truth for in the knowing it's going to activate the other person, and then hold space in loving, compassionate awareness, not taking responsibility for you inside of your action, but taking responsibility for how I show up inside of that. Sovereignty. And then literally, it's like ping pong. What do we want to become free of? Ping, 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 ping. And we can become free of anything. Because everything you're projecting on your partner is just the shit that you haven't figured out with your parents yet. So why are you making it your partner's fault? If your partner has fantasies or desires about something or someone outside of the relationship, that ain't got shit to do with you. But maybe if you see them and their courage to speak that, it actually quashes that desire in them, because now they feel so free to actually be where they are and feel where they are and see the things of where they are, that that freedom they feel, the paradox and irony is I feel so free speaking my truth, there's actually nowhere else I'd rather be. I choose you. That is the relationship I'm looking for. I told that story about my previous relationship where she came home, she was freaking out. She's like, I saw this dude at the gym and I had this, all of a sudden I had this vision of like, oh my God, he's fucking hot. And what if I had this little image of like I was having, and I was like, tell me more. That ain't got shit to do with me, because I know who I am. I know who I am. So you finding another man attractive and having a moment of fantasy, that ain't got shit to do with me. We're human. Tell me more. How can I get to know you deeper in this experience, instead of taking what would have an old version of me would have been like, I would have made it about me. I'm not good enough. Our sex ain't good enough. I'm not confident enough. My jealousy's coming on like, what do you mean you're making it her truth? I make my problem. This is where most relationships get trapped. Instead of, I see you in the courage for speaking that. I know you just spoke that and that ain't got shit to do with me. And if it does have something to do with me because you're not happy, let's go ahead and have that conversation now so we can help each other become free. But we become so attached. We're so enmeshed, entangled, and rooted, and we can't get out of the guys and the fights, and we want to make everything our partner's fault instead of realizing that we're here to make each other free. Instead of leaning into that and trusting that God is making this happen at levels that we'll never be able to put into words, it's so fucking perfect, we fight. We spin, we project. We make their truth their problem. Oh, you just bring, and again, I had the Truth podcast. We don't weaponize truth. We take ownership and responsibility. Truth is about what we feel in the experience. It has nothing to do with the other person. But this is the pathway to freedom, y'all. And so I'm in this place where I feel what I'm accomplishing alone in life, and then in this like sovereignty place, and then I'm going to meet the person in that, and it's like, woo, watch. She gonna show up soon, bet. And watch how quickly my life jumps to the next level, because I believe that is the path. Let's go. Sovereignty, relationship is the way. It is the way. What are you still wanting or needing from your partner that is not theirs to give you? When we create safety for ourselves, okay, maybe this is coming through, so maybe there's something here for you. If you don't feel safe in relationship, using your voice is how you create safety for yourself. But if you don't consistently use your voice and ask for what you need, not from a place of if they don't show, that's a really long conversation to go into. How can I synthesize this? Speaking to what you feel is the power of your voice. And it's not that, it's like, because there is a part where, so I had this image the other day as well. Like, I'm not expecting to go into this next relationship and it's going to be perfect. I know it's not going to be perfect. I know that she's going to have certain stories or wounds where, again, it's my responsibility, and how I have no responsibility for this woman's life. And I have a full responsibility for how I show up inside of that, because I choose this woman. And so there may be things that she needs for whatever is fill in the blank that is an acknowledgement of, I know I'm kind of giving my power away inside of this. And although I can be a healthy reflection of helping her find where she doesn't need that, I can also make the choice of like, can I bend my own personage inside of this and my own behavior and look at, and this is where it becomes a play. Where it's like, you know what? I'm happy to give you that in this moment. That is also the beautiful thing about relationship. We get to mold and morph and evolve to help each other become the best mirror reflection we can be to thrive inside of these environments. And so it's not like we're not going to ever not need anything. I mean, if somebody gets to a place where it's like 100% sovereign, and I don't know, maybe I'll let you know if I know anybody that gets there. But it's like sometimes it's okay to be like, hey, I know that this isn't where I want to be, but I need this right now from you so I can just start to talk to this part of me so we can navigate these things. And this is where it's like when we see past the triggers into the beauty of relationship, we can help each other become free of anything. I just did 20 minutes, so I don't know if that landed. A little riff, but it felt alive. I feel this woman so in my field. I'm so excited for what's to come. I'm so excited for life. And that feels complete. Thank you all for being here. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And as always, be blessed.